Daytona 500.
You spend thousands of hours on the road.
Can he do it again?
Feel hundreds of horses under the hood. But every race, lap, and victory you get starts at zero. New NOS, zero sugar. Zero sugar, 100% NOS, get after it.
Race fans, the 2025 season is going green at Volusia Speedway Park. It's the Sunshine Nationals featuring World of Outlaws late models at the world's fastest half mile. January 23rd to the 25th. It's a dirt late model palooza with the biggest names in dirt track racing. Volusia Speedway Park Sunshine Nationals, January 23rd to the 25th. Tickets and more at worldofoutlaws.com. Be there.
It's ARP Fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
Off-season blues got you down? Dirt Vision's documentary series Driven to Dirt is ready to help. Each new episode will immerse fans deeper into the world of dirt racing, exploring some of the biggest stars and events of the World of Outlaws. Driven to Dirt. Available exclusively on dirtvision.com.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing Components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick-change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
Get ready, Tulsa. January 13th to the 18th, the chase for the Golden Driller is back at the SageNet Center at Expo Square with the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. The biggest names, the toughest race, and they're all fighting for the sweetest victory of all to hoist the Golden Driller in victory lane. Monday and Tuesday reserved seats are available by calling 918-838-3777. Can only make it for Saturday night. The General Mission Pit Pass never sells out. For more info, log on to chilibowl.com.
It is shaping up to be a record-breaking week in Tulsa, Oklahoma. More cars are packed into the SageNet Center than ever before, and the storylines are promising excitement. Ladies and gentlemen, the race for the Golden Driller begins tonight. Welcome into Dirt Vision's pre-race coverage of the 39th Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. My name is Connor Wade, located in our studio in Concord, North Carolina. We will be joined momentarily by Dave Rieff, who is in the SageNet Center. Dave and myself will be with you today and all week long through the 4 o'clock hour until hot laps begin. A reminder that every lap of the Chili Bowl will be broadcasted live on Flow Racing. But until then, we're excited to give you a glimpse at how the biggest midget race in the world will shake out this week. The Chili Bowl Nationals is a week-long spectacular that started yesterday with practice. Now, the focus turns to 5 preliminary nights that set the stage for Saturday. The first of those prelims take place tonight. Also on the card for tonight is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Invitational Race of Champions. We'll tell you more about that event later on. The nearly 400 competitors entered for the event will each compete in one preliminary night Monday through Friday. Each prelim night contains a full program of racing. The top 2 finishers out of each preliminary feature receive a direct ticket to Saturday night's finale. All other drivers will find themselves fighting in the infamous alphabet soup on Saturday. Let's dive into what happens on each prelim night. Drivers pill draw for a starting position in their heat race. Approximately 8 heat races will be on the card. There, drivers begin compiling finishing and passing points for the night. The top 40 in points after heat races advance to qualifiers, with everyone outside headed to C-main events. Starting lineups for the 4 qualifiers will be based off of an invert of the top 24 in passing points. Drivers will once again race for points in the qualifiers, and the top 16 in points after the qualifiers will transfer into the night's feature, with the high point man starting on the pole of that 30-lapper. Everyone outside the top 16 can attempt to race their way in through the B mains. Once again, 30 laps is the distance for the prelim features, with the top 2 finishers locking in to the $20,000 to win feature on Saturday. Everyone outside the top 2 will be lined up for their main on Saturday based off of their finishing position. Around 80 drivers are expected to sign in for the Second Opinion Auto preliminary night this evening, and the week is starting out tough. Let's start with one of the big names that we'll be talking about throughout the week, Kyle Larson. Larson finds himself back in Tulsa in January for his 17th Chili Bowl attempt, one that will certainly be much more planned out than his surprise appearance last year. Larson is back with Paul Silva on the wrenches for the Chili Bowl, with whom both of his Golden Driller wins came in 2020 and 2021. To the surprise of no one, Larson has already been racing and winning in 2025. He won $100,000 in a sprint car in Australia and has already seen success in Tulsa with 2 driller wins in his first time competing in the Tulsa Shootout in a micro. Eyeing their 3rd Golden Driller, Young Money and Paul Silva come to the Chili Bowl for just the 2nd time since they made a change to their midget program a few years ago. And that was a switch to Eagle chassis. They debuted the Eagle at the Chili Bowl in 2022, coming off back-to-back event wins, and they finished 6th that year. Since then, they've recorded 4 USAC wins, including a turkey night with the Eagle, and are looking for more success in Tulsa. EMI and the Larson-Silva duo have achieved much success on the sprint car side of things, such as back-to-back Knoxville Nationals wins. Let's go to the building for the first of many times this week to check in with Dave Rieff, who is standing by with Kyle Larson ahead of his first ever run on Monday night.
30 years ago, it was Donnie Beecher, my first impressions of what it meant to be at the Chili Bowl. I started watching him going forward. Now everybody is watching Kyle Larson, who this year can at least come to the Chili Bowl with a little more comfort than what you found yourself in last year. Last minute, missing pieces and parts, but you come here prepared and ready.
Yeah, I mean, last year was just kind of fun, really, or tried to make it fun. It didn't end up being that much fun, but no, it's good to be back here with Paul and Trevor and Doug, and actually putting a full effort into it again. It's been a couple years, so yeah, I'm excited. You know, we got Tyler Courtney as well running with us, which is, you know, fun because he's a great driver, obviously, and you know, one of my best friends too. So it's just a fun team here.
Second year here with this Eagle chassis. I know it was a change. Some things really started to come together last year with some wins out west, the turkey night, everything like that. What's your confidence level expectation as far as this machine this year?
Yeah, 2022 here, we weren't very good. We were still, you know, not bad, but yeah, he went to work, Paul did, and we ran the West Coast midget races last year in 2023, last season, whatever you want to call it, and we won, I think, every race we ran. So yeah, that was great. And then yeah, coming back this year, my stuff feels better, more comfortable, but it's really competitive in this building. There's a lot of great cars, drivers, you know, equipment. It's really, every year just gets tougher and tougher because the quality of cars gets better and better. So yeah, it just makes it difficult, but a lot of fun and a challenge. So, you know, I'm competitive and I'm having fun, and you know, I hope to continue on. But I also feel like as I get older, though, I put less pressure on myself, just because, you know, I've been able to accomplish a lot of good things, and I realize, you know, how competitive things are, and how, you know, when you put pressure on yourself, it tends to be less fun. So a lot less pressure, you know, with my racing these days, and I think that, you know, pays off for the results.
Let's talk about two-day. Monday, first time you've kind of slid into that first spot. Why Monday this year?
I've just always, when I've ran the Chili Bowl and been a part of the Race of Champions, it's typically been on Tuesday, and I don't know, I just have a comfort with that, a rhythm to my week of Chili Bowl. So I enjoy racing both races. Obviously, there's some risk that comes with that, you know, but I just like it. I like getting it all done early in the week.
You hang out the rest of the week?
I'm going to go home tomorrow to Charlotte and, yeah, get to go hang out at the Cup Shop and do some things with the 5 team who I haven't really seen this whole off season. So I'm excited about that, and stay out of the fumes and the germs and all that.
Have fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Have fun this week. Let's talk about the man who they call Mr. Monday Night, Cannon McIntosh. The Oklahoma native has 3 times found himself a winner during the event's opening prelim night. Those wins came with Keith Coons Motorsports in 2020 and 2021. An additional win came with his family operation in 2023. The prelim success has translated to allow Cannon to put up very impressive numbers come Saturday night. 3 top 5 finishes in the finale for Cannon, finishing as high as third twice and leading 9 laps in the feature just 2 years ago. Cannon seems closer than ever to finally winning that Saturday finale, especially when you consider the numbers he put up in 2024. It was a season of dominating the national midget scene for Cannon. He won both the Extreme and POWRi National Championships, the first double national midget champion, get this, since Brad Kuhn in 2009. McIntosh saw a total of 11 wins on the year and proved he can show up when it counts as he recorded the biggest win of his career at September's BC 39 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What does he need to do to turn the prelim success into a golden driller? We'll find out as the 2024 Extreme Outlaw Midget Champion talks to Dave Rieff.
Well, if you go on numbers strictly alone, Cannon McIntosh has got to be a favorite with 3 prelim wins in his last 5 prelim nights. And of course, everything he did last year, the 11 wins, the 2 championships, Extreme POWRi, dang near the USAC one as well. 2024 was a pretty good year for you. How do you assess it when you look back on it now that you've had some time?
Yeah, it was definitely very successful for us. Coming back here, we didn't really know what to expect. I mean, obviously our goal was to win races and compete for championships. We didn't know how long it would take to get back in a groove, and I feel like it took a little bit of time. We won our first weekend out, but still, as the year went on, like it still took time, to get to a place where we can run up front consistently. So we just Keith and I started to click, and we just found our groove and just really was able to run up front consistently and keep ourselves out of trouble a lot. Out of 57 races, we had 1 DNF all year that was out of our control. So just I think nights like that, keeping ourselves out of trouble is what kind of set ourselves up for winning championships and and coming really close in the USAC one as well. So it's a good feeling going into Chili Bowl, knowing the success we had last year, and hopefully we can apply some of that into this week.
What is your confidence level based on the numbers that I talked about earlier? It's got to be pretty high still.
Yeah, I mean, whether the numbers were good or not, I always feel comfortable and confident, walking into this building for this race. And I've been coming here since I was a kid to watch, and I've always loved it, and I've always loved racing under these lights. So especially coming back here with Keith again, very confident. I know I'm gonna have a really good piece under me. It's just a matter if I show up and do my job right, and just apply all the things that we learned all year, and just not try to overthink it. It's just another race, and it's 40 laps on Saturday. It's just 10 more laps than we would normally run. So it's really about going out and executing and doing the same things. It's pretty special, and I'm always grateful to come back here and race in a really good piece. And we got this beautiful Mobil 1 machine this year, so I'm super excited about it. And this is my favorite week of the year, so I'm ready.
Bigger dream yet coming his way, yet to be accomplished. Might it happen this year? I wouldn't bet against it.
This is the 7th year of the Chili Bowl that features a Monday night preliminary. Here's a look at all the Monday night winners since the Chili Bowl expanded to 5 prelim nights in 2019. Logan Seavey won the first, and then you start to see Cannon McIntosh's name on the board. Surrounding McIntosh's most recent prelim win, both the year before and the year after, you see a name that has become a yearly contender at the Chili Bowl, and that's Tanner Carrick. Carrick, who has 15 teammates at the Chili Bowl this year, once again drives for his longtime hunting buddy, Keith Coons. The NorCal native spent 4 seasons on the national midget scene from 2017 through 2020 and picked up a few wins with USAC and POWRi. Nowadays, he spends the year mostly driving winged sprint cars back in his home state of California. His limited midget starts, however, do not stop him from success. Last year, he recorded his 2nd top 10 at the Chili Bowl in the last 3 years.
Just got to put myself in a better position on the Saturday nights. I do put myself in, and I think that'd be a big factor of getting up front in the main rather than starting 7th or 8th. It's kind of a little tougher to pass the 7 or 8 cars that are in front of you that are normally very good, the best in the building, and with the track conditions we normally have in the past years. It's kind of wherever you start, you might get around 1 or 2 of the cars, and that's where you're going to finish. But Keith gives me a great race car, so hopefully this year will be the year that we can get her done.
What do you like most about coming out on the opening night?
I don't know. I just standing around and watching doesn't necessarily help me out. It kind of makes me just sit there and overthink everything more than it does anything. So coming out on opening night and getting going and just being the first ones on the track and getting the whole week started kind of helps me out more than standing around and watching the rest of the week. I looked at the thing come out earlier, like last week, and Keith had me on Tuesday. I was like, man, Monday's normally my night. We've got a lot of track time over here on our team. Keith gets to try different things and make adjustments, and especially when there's 3 of us riding tonight, he has more than one car to work off of, unlike other teams do.
Good stuff from Tanner Carrick. Coming up, Monday night of the Chili Bowl has a strong contingent of drivers from our neck of the woods. Find out which North Carolina drivers you need to keep your eyes on next.
Race fans, the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals is bigger than ever. From January 30th through February 15th at Volusia Speedway Park. The World of Outlaw Sprint Cars and late models, plus the American Sprint Car Series, the Super Dirt Car Series, and the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds at the world's fastest half-mile oval. Every lap, every class, only on Dirt Vision.
How'd I do?
Great if you're not looking at the clock.
Sure you got that? I had to be faster than that, right? 100% NOS, zero sugarcoat. New NOS, zero sugar. Get after it.
Brake hard with the all-new Smith Tie Complete Big Brake System. Our Big Brake titanium rotor offers doubled cooling capacity, and our centrifugal fan hub increases airflow to the hotter-running inner half of the Big Brake rear caliper. Say goodbye to brake fade and overheating, and hello to shorter stops and longer pad life. Complete your system with titanium piston front caliper, front rotor, aluminum billet pedal, billet reservoir, master cylinder, lines, and quick disconnects, and you'll be unstoppable. Smith Titanium. We winnovate.
Race fans, the 2025 season is going green at Volusia Speedway Park. It's the Sunshine Nationals featuring World of Outlaws late models at the world's fastest half mile. January 23rd to the 25th. It's a dirt late model palooza with the biggest names in dirt track racing. Volusia Speedway Park Sunshine Nationals, January 23rd to the 25th. Tickets and more at worldofoutlaws.com. Be there.
There is a look at the NOS Energy Drink number 2H, wheeled by none other than late model star, modified champion, and co-host of Pitbull himself, Nick Hoffman. Nick makes his Chili Bowl prelim effort tonight his first race of the new year, and if the new year is anything like the last, the thrill from Mooresville is in for a fun one. Nick embarked on his second season full-time on the World of Outlaws Late Model Tour in 2024 and took a big step from Rookie of the Year contender in 23 to a championship contender. Hoffman was a part of a championship battle that came right down to the World Finals in November. He ultimately settled for a third-place finish in points, with his season highlighted by 5 wins. It's no doubt that Nick will continue to achieve accolades in the fender world, but as we all know, if it has 4 wheels and goes fast, Nick Hoffman will drive it. His Chili Bowl efforts to this point have yielded 2 heat race wins, a Saturday night C-Main victory, a 5th-place prelim finish 3 years ago, and a 9th last year. During the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series inaugural event in 2022, Nick recorded a 4th and a 5th at Millbridge. So his comfort level in a midget is no secret. Let's gauge his comfort heading into tonight as Dave catches up with Nick Hoffman.
Chili Bowl definitely a fun event, and this guy knows a lot about fun, but he's a pretty damn good race car driver too. So we're going to figure out how last year's runner-up with the late models is going to handle what, year 4 now at the midgets?
Yeah, I've got to do some part-time stuff with Jeff Taylor here, Rockwell Security, and basically lets me run as much as I want. So I can't thank him enough for this opportunity again. And it's just really cool to come out here, and these are some of my best friends, Zach Dom and Gordy Gundaker, and come out here and play a little bit. And obviously we expect a lot, and try and go out here and at least make the A main on Saturday. But I put a lot of pressure on myself, but this is one of those deals that it's a lot of fun, and we get better every year.
How fast are you going to be this year?
I feel really good. 2 hot lap sessions, and felt like we were pretty good. The first session, 9 a.m., and then 9 hours later, I get to run my second set. And
now you got to sit around till today and go tonight.
Yeah, so I got 2 totally different racetracks. I basically got what we would hot lap on Monday night, and then what we would feature with. Feature time basically. So it's pretty good to get those 2 transitions. I feel like my race car was decent in both of them.
What would Nick Hoffman say though on Dirt Vision's pit bull? He'd say, yeah, but everybody had that same deal. Different racetracks, get over it, work with it. Yeah. You're smart enough to do that.
Yeah, you just got to adapt and overcome. And Zach's smart enough on the race car to be able to look at it, and he's made laps too, so he was able to kind of adjust on it. Definitely be interesting tonight.
You love fun, but it's not going to be a fun week. You're also going back and forth. What you doing?
Yeah, so super, busy at the late model shop, the modified shop. I got Kenny Wallace driving for me on my modified side, and then start the World Outlaw season next week. So fly back and forth, fly out Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., get back to the shop at 9, and start thrashing on that stuff. Luckily, my late model program is pretty well prepared, and we're very close to being done. So those cars basically just need loaded in the box. My modified for Kenny is very close, but these customers that I got to build for, not so much. So got a lot of work to do there. Fly back on Friday, race, fly back Sunday, get home, and then leave Tuesday for Volusia. So a lot of travel, but I signed up for this deal, and I love it.
Bottom line, it does not suck to be Nick Hoffman. That guy's pretty good.
Nick is always a lot of fun to watch, so excited to see what he has in store for us here this evening. Let's move on to Brent Crews, a Denver, North Carolina native who scored the biggest win of his dirt racing career a little over a week ago with a stock non-winged win at the Tulsa Shootout. Crews is hoping that won't be the only Golden Driller he has for his shelf leaving Tulsa this year. The shootout wasn't the first time he's actually made noise in the Expo Center. Crews had a history making Chili Bowl in 2023, becoming the youngest driver to ever start the Saturday night finale, a record he still holds to this day. Crews's days in midget racing full-time were short but very sweet. He recorded an impressive 5 POWRi wins in 2021 en route to a second-place finish in point standings with the series that year. After that, he's gone on to score wins in Trans Am, Pavement Late Models, and ARCA, where he will compete full-time in the upcoming season. Brent still appreciates his dirt racing roots. He and car owner Paul May actually have some momentum coming into Chili Bowl after running DuQuoin last month and finishing third in what was Brent's first open-wheel race in almost a year.
Jumping off the pavement, coming back to dirt for his 4th Chili Bowl. It's Brent Crews, who comes here with a Golden Driller from a couple of weeks ago. That had to be pretty cool. Great way to come here.
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty cool. As my 4th Chili Bowl coming up, I'm hoping to be able to go 2 for 2. That driller meant a lot to me and my team, and I have a great team back behind me in the midget stuff. Felt good yesterday, and I'm ready to go tonight.
You got into this A feature a couple years back, but it didn't exactly end the way it started.
Yeah, we had a super good car, and the curb got really big, and the second I went up there, I flipped. So, yeah, definitely trying to do better this week. Feel like we have a super fast car, and I'm comfortable.
And you got a future going with Joe Gibbs Racing coming up. Going to spend a lot of time on the asphalt. But what is it about the Chili Bowl in specific that has brought you back this year?
It's just so much fun. You see guys like Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson and all those guys that are just so good on asphalt. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as well. And they don't have a reason they need to be here. It's just the fact that it's so much fun, being able to get you ready for the season again. There's not much that is as hard to drive as these midgets.
Does that give you a little extra incentive too? Getting ready to sign that contract with Joe Gibbs Racing, knowing that Christopher Bell and everybody else has kind of been freed up from that organization to do what they want?
Yeah, definitely. It's cool being able to race the stuff you love, and I truly believe that racing anything you can step your foot in is going to make you better, and especially when it's a blast like these midgets.
Doesn't happen very often. DuQuoin last year, pretty good run. What can we expect out of this Paul May team today?
Looking for a win as always. I think that's the only expectation we have, and just plan on running good, and I'm comfortable tonight, and that's what we're here for.
This guy sounds pretty focused about his future here. He's got a good one going. He's looking for a good one here tonight inside the Expo Center.
From one Millbridge kid to another, youngster Trevor Klein kicks off his second Chili Bowl appearance tonight. Klein made the feature on his prelim night in his maiden Chili Bowl voyage last year and looks to do more this year. Klein spent 2024 following the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series presented by Toyota and finished a respectable 7th in points. But where Klein has found his groove is in micro sprints. Dirt Vision's Millbridge viewers have gotten to see a healthy dose of Klein the last couple of seasons. In 2023, he won the track's non-lean track championship, and while he was not running for a championship in 2024, he still scored a career-high 6 victories. Klein has shown significant improvement the more time he gets in both the micro and the midget. Klein comes from a heavily racing-oriented family, and the last couple times I've seen him bang the boards at Millbridge, he has really caught my eye. We've seen youngsters break out at the Chili Bowl countless times before, and Trevor Klein could be the next one to do so.
Last year obviously was the first time I came here, but it was also my 4th midget race. So it was good to put in the prelim show. We struggled in that, and didn't end up where I wanted to on Saturday, but definitely good for the first time we were here. Yeah, definitely got a lot more experience. Not only, I ran a micro a lot this year too, so learned a lot from that. Learned a lot from midgets. We ran 30 odd races this year, so definitely learned a lot. Got a bigger notebook this year than we did last year, and hopefully we'll put it in Saturday main. First you got to put in the prelim show, and then hopefully make your Saturday main, hopefully on your prelim night. If not, you'll have to come through a B, and that's my goal tonight. Obviously with 300 cars, and 100 of them could make the show. So yeah, hopefully we put it in Saturday main, and we'll go from there.
What kind of work did you guys do in the off season to make this Bellwood auto body car better, you think?
Well, this is actually a brand new car, so we don't know what it's exactly going to do, but we'll take a lot of information from the old car, and we'll go from there.
Hot laps are getting closer and closer on night 1 of the Chili Bowl. We've got more pre-race coverage after this break on Dirt Vision.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing Components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
It's Chili Bowl National time in Tulsa, and the stars and cars of the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series presented by Toyota are in the building. All full-time drivers of the Extreme Outlaw Series are ready to race for the Golden Driller this week. But did you know you can see them race all season long with a subscription to Dirt Vision? That's right. Watch rising open-wheel stars Cannon McIntosh and Jacob Denny battle with veterans Zach Dahm and Cameron Key in a 27-race schedule in 2025, live on Dirt Vision.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Brake hard with the all-new Smith Tie Complete Big Brake System. Our Big Brake titanium rotor offers doubled cooling capacity, and our centrifugal fan hub increases airflow to the hotter running inner half of the Big Brake rear caliper. Say goodbye to brake fade and overheating, and hello to shorter stops and longer pad life. Complete your system with titanium piston front caliper, front rotor, aluminum billet pedal, billet reservoir, master cylinder, lines, and quick disconnects, and you'll be unstoppable. Smith Titanium. We winnovate.
Right there, Hoffman flies off the front straightaway.
Picked up in the third with Blaney Memorial.
They call it the voodoo child in that zero.
It up the track, and just like that, Caleb Armstrong. Travel wins at Jacksonville.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Get your motors running. The World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars return to Volusia Speedway Park in March for the Bike Week Jamboree. 2 huge nights with the greatest show on dirt, March 2nd and 3rd at the world's fastest half mile. Championship battles, rising stars, and incredibly fast cars. The World of Outlaws at Volusia Speedway Park, March 2nd and 3rd. Tickets and more at worldofoutlaws.com. Be there.
Welcome back. Night one of the Chili Bowl kicks off momentarily. For now, we're continuing our preview here on Dirt Vision. Remember, once we're done, flip over to Flow Racing for hot laps and the rest of the night live. Let's look at a driver who we talked about a lot with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series in 2024, the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Balog. The 10-time IRA Sprint Car champion set out for a year with the greatest show on dirt and did not waste a second of it. Balog recorded 10 top 5 finishes and finished 8th in the series standings. That, along with a third-place finish in the Huset's High Bank Nationals and leading laps on Thursday night at the Knoxville Nationals, was good enough for Bill to come back to the Tour in 2025. While his primary focus is getting ready for Volusia, Bill has teamed up with Bob East to drive the number 71G in Tulsa. East has been around the Chili Bowl for a long time. Many got used to seeing Damian Gardner drive that car for many years. Balog, who does not have a ton of seat time in a midget, is certain to, as he always does, make the most of this opportunity.
Well, the thing you gotta love about the Chili Bowl, it attracts racers from across the board. F1, IndyCar, Bill Balog's here, the North Pole Nightmare. No stranger to this place. Place hasn't been that successful to you yet, but make me believe.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what can happen. You know, I think in the past, you know, we've had maybe a couple little highlights here and there, but Saturday night, you know, usually just end up kind of back there a ways for whatever reason, probably my fault. But yeah, you know, it's just like you said earlier, it's tough to pass this opportunity up with Bob East. You know, just tons of respect for Bob, and you know, he's just like a superstar of our sport. So yeah, I couldn't really say no. I actually kind of tried to about a month ago, and because I got so much work to do, and he pretty much just told me, you know, you told me you were going to do it, so you got to show up. So here we are.
So why do you think this place does throw up a curveball perhaps at you?
I don't know. It's just you're under a lot of scrutiny. I think I don't really race midgets very much, and I kind of gave it up a couple years ago for good, I thought. But yeah, it's kind of one of those deals. You should probably do it maybe a little more than just once a year. And you know, like I said, there's high expectations. Just for myself, I don't even know if these guys care that much, but I know they didn't come here for nothing. So I want to do a good job for them, and no adjustable stuff here. We're just going to head out there with what we got and try to make it happen.
Sounds like it's going to be pretty simple for Bill Balog. Get in, fire it up, put your foot on it, and let's see where it goes.
Let's turn now to a couple of the super teams that we will cover throughout the week, starting with Matt Wood Racing. It's another strong lineup for the Central California-based team, highlighted perhaps by their entry tonight, Shane Golobic. Golobic always seems to put his name in the conversation during the Chili Bowl and might actually be getting better with age. Golobic has started 8 of the last 9 Saturday finales coming into this Chili Bowl, with his 2 best finishes coming the last 2 seasons, a 4th and a 6th. Shane's success hasn't only come on Saturdays. Even though he has never recorded a prelim win, which actually seems surprising, he's finished in a lock-in spot to the finale on 5 different occasions. Those back-to-back top 10 finishes on Saturday, the last 2 seasons, have both followed runner-up finishes on his Monday night prelim. The only way the numbers can improve for Golobic is if he can finally break into victory lane. Could 2025 be the year that he does just that? Let's hear if he thinks so. Shane Golobic, standing by with Dave Rieff.
Pick a finishing position. Anywhere outside of position 1, Shane Golobic has probably found his way into that spot. But this is a guy who knows how to get it done. He's been in the A main 8 of the last 9 Saturday nights here at the Chili Bowl. But that one thing missing is that number 1. Can you put one reason why that number 1 hasn't shown up yet?
Oh man, I think the only thing I can blame is myself. Honestly, just haven't finished the job. I know my Matt Wood NOS Energy Drink cars are capable of winning. I just haven't got the job done. I feel like many years now we've had a car capable of winning, and just hasn't quite worked out, and I've made kind of bad decisions here and there. So I'm fully okay with taking all the blame on that. So hopefully tonight I can change it, and we can kind of get rid of that narrative. You can ruin your Chili Bowl in a very, very quick way, and you're not going to win it in a very quick way. It's a long week. You have to make your moves when they're presented, but you can also ruin your week in a heartbeat if you go and make a dumb decision, whether that's in the pit area or on the racetrack. So we've got a great group of guys here that are going to help get these things prepared, and I'm not worried about that whatsoever. So I know our cars are fast, felt good yesterday. So yeah, our big thing is just going to be to focus on getting through each checkpoint throughout the night, and hopefully by the end of the night we're where we usually are, but hopefully one spot better.
your opinion, what separates a winner from a podium finisher, from a top 5, from a top 10 to just somebody that's in the A-main? What's the intangible?
I don't know. I guess I'm not qualified to answer that in this building quite yet. But hopefully tonight we can figure that out. But honestly, everybody just runs so hard here. The Saturday night features what everybody wants, but a prelim win is huge. And I think a lot of times I've been a little bit too big picture thinking as far as prelim nights. Running second is really nothing that you want to dangle out and risk too much, because if you're big picture racing, you want to be on the Saturday feature. So maybe tonight, if I'm running second, I might hang it out a little bit more and just live with an E-main if that's what it really has to come down to in order to, get that chance at a first prelim win.
5 times he's used that prelim night to get into the A-main. If that number 1 comes tonight, yeah, sure, great. If it comes Saturday night, that would be even better.
Another big team is Alex Bowman Racing, which brings a lineup of 4 drivers into the 39th Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS. Of those 4, 1 is new to the team, and that is Pennsylvania non-league standout Briggs Danner. Danner makes his 4th Chili Bowl appearance and is coming off his first start in the Saturday finale. He recorded a 16th place finish last year driving for Meyer Rossi Motorsports. That came after a 3rd place prelim finish. Danner had a big 2024 season in the non-league sprint car world, winning 3 USAC national events. The 2-time USAC East Coast champion has earned praise from many in the industry. While long being regarded as someone with a bright future, that bright future might be now, as the 23-year-old is expected to be in the mix on this Monday prelim. The continued improvement of ABR's Chili Bowl operation over the years, coupled with Danner's recent Tulsa accomplishments, make this new pairing one to keep your eyes on. We'll hear how Briggs plans to make the most of the opportunity to drive for Alex Bowman as he talks with Dave.
I feel very confident. I know I got a good car underneath me. Mickey and Alex have given me the best piece in the building. Anybody that walks this building knows that Alex's stuff is really, really nice and fast. So, it kind of puts a little bit more pressure on me. But, if I feel like if we don't do good, it's probably one guy's fault. It's probably my own fault. But, it makes my job easier knowing we got a good piece. And especially after last year making the show, the first 2 years that I ran Chili Bowl, I hadn't made out of the D. So to run 3rd, get a podium on my prelim night last year, and to make the show and just be a part of the whole shebang was really cool, and looking forward to hopefully doing it again. You got to finish every race. You got to make the most of your situation, no matter what your pill draw is or who's in your heat or your qualifier or whatever. So just make the most of every time you go out on the track, and it should all fall together. As long as I do my part, I think we'll be in good shape. Just very cool experience to be a part of it, and then to run so well last year and to be able to be a part of it was the coolest thing. So I'd like to do it again this year. Obviously, our expectations are high, and I think I'm capable. I know the car's capable. It's just a matter of getting it done.
We are now going to step aside for a quick commercial break and then a look at tonight's O'Reilly Auto Parts International Race of Champions. That's always fun. Next on Dirt Vision.
How'd I do?
Great if you're not looking at the clock.
Sure you got that? I had to be faster than that, right?
100% NOS, zero sugar coating. New NOS, zero sugar. Get after it.
While the Chili Bowl Nationals features the world's best midget talent, it's the stars of the American Sprint Car Series who are also ready to make their mark in Tulsa. Did you know you can see those winged warriors of the National 360 Sprint Car scene all year long on Dirt Vision? That's right. Get your subscription today and watch Seth Bergman, Sam Hafertepe Jr., Matt Covington, and many more battle wheel to wheel at the dirt tracks of America's heartland from April to November, only on Dirt Vision.
Ready to rise? To the challenge? Above obstacles.
Yes!
Above perceptions.
Ruttiger, implement the pass on the top lane.
Above it all.
Let's go!
If so, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing Components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
Brake hard with the all-new Smith Tie Complete Big Brake System. Our Big Brake titanium rotor offers doubled cooling capacity, and our centrifugal fan hub increases airflow to the hotter running inner half of the Big Brake rear caliper. Say goodbye to brake fade and overheating and hello to shorter stops and longer pad life. Complete your system with titanium piston front caliper, front rotor, aluminum billet pedal, billet reservoir, master cylinder, lines, and quick disconnects, and you'll be unstoppable. Smith Titanium. We winnovate.
Race fans, the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals is bigger than ever. From January 30th through February 15th at Volusia Speedway Park. The World of Outlaw Sprint Cars and late models, plus the American Sprint Car Series, the Super Dirt Car Series, and the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds at the world's fastest half-mile oval. Every lap, every class, only on Dirt Vision.
It's a celebrated tradition during the Chili Bowl that goes back to 2009, the O'Reilly Auto Parts International Race of Champions, an exhibition race where drivers with the highest of credentials see the Tulsa Expo Raceway in a competitive nature for the first time during the week. It's a great way for the top contenders to know how they stack up against the other Saturday night favorites. For others, competing serves as a ceremonial honor or a chance to represent their respective series or discipline of racing. Let's look at who is invited to compete in this year's IROC. Brady Bacon is in by virtue of being a four-time USAC Sprint Car champion. Spencer Basin makes another appearance at the Race of Champions. He won the event 2 years ago. Christopher Bell back at the Chili Bowl, and by virtue of being a three-time winner of the event, he is in. Kaylee Bryson a couple years ago became the first female to ever start the Chili Bowl. Also picked up a Trans Am SGT championship in 2024. Tanner Carrick gets in by virtue of being the Monday night prelim winner in 2024. Tyler Courtney in the Race of Champions for the second year in a row. He was the 2024 High Limit Sprint Car Series midweek champion. Corey Day is also in, last year's Wednesday night prelim winner. Justin Gran, his first time driving for CB Industries, is tonight, 2022 Race of Champions winner. Buddy Kofoid, of course, the Tuesday night prelim winner last year. Kyle Larson, also back at the Chili Bowl, two-time winner of the event. Cannon McIntosh gets in by winning 2 National Midget Championships in 2024, of course, with Extreme and Power Eye. Dason Persley, this year's USAC National Midget Champion, makes an appearance in the Race of Champions. Logan Seavey, two-time Chili Bowl champion, also won last year's Race of Champions. Cody Swanson added an 8th USAC Silver Crown Championship to his resume in 2024. Brad Sweet in by virtue of being the 2024 High Limit Sprint Car Series National Champion. Sammy Swindell, a 5-time Chili Bowl Nationals winner. You can't have the Race of Champions without him. Ricky Thornton Jr. represents the Fender guys, this past year's Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion. Tanner Thorson in by being the 2022 Chili Bowl champion. And then Ryan Timms, they put him in because McIntosh won both the Extreme and Power Eye Midget Championships. They wanted to have a representative of each series, each National Midget Series, that is. So Timms was second in both Extreme and Power Eye Midget standings, so he is in. Logan Seavey, we mentioned him. He won his first O'Reilly Auto Parts International Race of Champions last year and made an early statement that he was back to defend his Chili Bowl title. Seavey carried the momentum all the way through Saturday night as he hoisted the Golden Driller once again. Tonight, he and others again have a chance to establish themselves as early favorites. Let's hear from Seavey as well as World of Outlaws star Buddy Kofoid, who's also in the Race of Champions, to find out what they have to gain in that race tonight.
Anytime you're in a race, you want to win. But at the end of the day, this car only gets raced once a year. So, we're just making sure everything's still going good, and just kind of feeling the car out a lot and making sure that it's driving how I want it to, and everything's working the way it is. And if it is, then we go try to win. And if not, we maybe just try to learn as much as we can. So, for us, like I said, only race once a year. It's a huge race to be a part of, so important, and it's really cool that. We've earned our way in now for a few years, and we're going to be in for a while now longer. So, like I said, it's just such an important time on track for us when we only run this car once a year. I feel like, because there's been times where I haven't been in it, and I feel like always being in the Race of Champions is, here extra laps is good no matter what, no matter where you go, especially here at the Chili Bowl with it being almost 400 cars and a lot of really good cars, and it's just hard to be good here. So I feel like any laps are valuable here, and extra laps are crucial. And luckily my night's Tuesday that I race, so tonight being the Virock, still want to be smart, but at the same time, I know that I don't have to race later on after that for my prelim feature. So we'll try and learn the best we can and apply, and if it's good, apply it to tomorrow, or if not, then throw it out the window. So I think it's definitely beneficial for sure.
The Race of Champions will take place after the qualifiers tonight. The lineup will be set based on a group qualifying session. We have one last commercial break to take here on Dirt Vision, and when we come back, we'll hear from Dave Rieff one last time today as we give you our final thoughts ahead of Monday night.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has won the Daytona 500.
You spend thousands of hours on the road.
Can he do it again?
Feel hundreds of horses under the hood. But every race, lap, and victory you get starts at zero. New NOS, zero sugar. Zero sugar, 100% NOS, get after it.
Race fans, the 2025 season is going green at Volusia Speedway Park. It's the Sunshine Nationals featuring World of Outlaws late models at the world's fastest half mile. January 23rd to the 25th. It's a dirt late model palooza with the biggest names in dirt track racing. Volusia Speedway Park Sunshine Nationals, January 23rd to the 25th. Tickets and more at worldofoutlaws.com. Be there.
It's ARP Fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-Bolts.com. No matter what you race.
Off-season blues got you down? Dirt Vision's documentary series Driven to Dirt is ready to help. Each new episode will immerse fans deeper into the world of dirt racing, exploring some of the biggest stars and events of the World of Outlaws. Driven to Dirt. Available exclusively on DirtVision.com.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing Components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick-change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
News: heat race lineups for night one of the Chili Bowl are in. 66 cars are entered. We're going to get to those lineups in just a moment. Right now, though, we are going to go to the Expo Center. Dave Rieff is in the building, living on Tulsa time this week. Dave, so much excitement coming into this Chili Bowl. We knew it was going to be memorable. You've been in the building all day. Is the hype living up to the expectations so far?
Connor, the hype always lives up to the expectation. I discovered, as I said earlier, this race some 30 years ago, and it was a fever. It's something you got then, and there's no cure for it. I don't care what time does. You can stay away from this place, but coming back to here, I kind of likened it like going back to that family reunion, or perhaps the graduation class, going back 20 years later. You don't miss a thing. It's like a soap opera that just keeps on, and the excitement, as you mentioned, never before have I been in this building before 9 o'clock. Was in the building today, and it was absolutely unbelievable. It's almost like walking into church where you're getting preached the gospel. As noisy as it's about to become, with all the hype and all the energy and all the excitement of handing out these golden drillers is going to be over the next 6 days, it was so peaceful, it was so quiet, it gave you a chance to reflect about what everything is. But The energy is definitely ramping up. The aisleways are starting to fill up. Yeah, it's not going to be crazy busy on Monday, Tuesday, but as the week goes on, it's going to ramp up. So the energy is absolutely going all the way to this Tulsa Expo Center roof, and it's starting to get real because practice was cool. It was nice seeing midgets on the racetrack yesterday, but it's about to get real for good as we start chasing these points and starting to line up these features.
Yeah, cars are going to hit the track at the Tulsa Expo Raceway for hot laps in about 10 minutes. We're going to wrap up our coverage here on Dirt Vision by talking about these heat race lineups tonight. Dave, 8 heat races. We just got the lineups, and in the first one, Kyle Larson, he gets to go right out of the gate this evening. He has a decent starting spot and opportunity to make some points. He probably, though, needs to win that heat race.
He probably does, and you know what? Based on some of the other competitors in there, he's certainly going to have a great chance. After all, he's got a feel for a race car. I don't care if it's here or if it's in Australia or wherever. That guy can simply get the job done, and he knows what's at stake tonight. We talked to him earlier. You heard what he had to say. He's very quiet. He's very confident. He knows what's at stake, but it's very interesting because so much of what dirt racing is about that pill draw, and a lot of times it's usually with regards to where you qualify. Well, tonight it happened to be where the lineup started. And there's some other racers that we're going to talk about a little earlier that were not happy to be up there towards the top. They know those passing points are going to come at a premium, so they also know they need to absolutely finish the best they can in this race. Kyle Larson, I'm probably not going to get anybody to take any odds here, but he's probably going to be able to walk away with heat race number 1 unless something silly happens to that Paul Silva machine.
Yeah, for sure. Emilio Hoover on the front row of that one. Thinking back to last year, Emilio kind of had a breakout night, gained a lot of points in the heat race, and made a lot of people who picked him in their pools pretty happy. So look for something like that to happen again, not just out of Emilio, but could be anybody in the 66 car field. Heat 2 looks good as well. Heat number 3, Nick Hoffman on the outside of the front row. If he's going to gain the amount of points necessary to be sitting in a good spot for the qualifier, he also needs to win that heat. I want to talk about Tanner Holmes, Dave. The word I got from the Expo building was that they had to put a lot of work in on that Dave.com number 31 machine last night after practice. Did you get the scoop there on Tanner?
They did, and they're literally just a stone's throw away from here. I could probably shout out and talk to the team, but they're actually buttoning things up. They had something seized underneath the hood of the motor of that car last night, and obviously practice laps, the guys were kind of, I don't want to say complaining, but they only got about 2 to 3 laps for each one of these practice sessions. When you're trying to push a total number of cars that's 380 plus through the Expo Center, give them 2 opportunities, it's pretty tough. So the laps were at a minimum. Yeah, maybe you didn't learn much, but you made sure your car was set up right, or in the case of what we're talking about here, you found out you had a problem. Good thing it happened to them last night. They were able to get all those things taken care of, and there's going to be no problem for them being able to make their heat race here and come up in heat race 3.
Good deal. Glad to hear it. Good luck to Tanner and everybody involved with that team. You look at heat race number 4, not particularly stacked. That's one of those heat races where you might see a guy go, maybe Alex Sewell. If he could go 6-3, that'd be incredible. And Alex, not necessarily a guy that immediately comes to your mind whenever you think of Chili Bowl contenders, but it's heat races like that where you're going to see guys kind of come out of the woodworks and break out. Heat race number 5. The veteran Jerry Coons Jr. is on the pole of it. A definite must-win for him if he's going to find himself in a qualifier. Dave, Jerry Coons Jr., we've both been around him a long time. He's one of those savvy veterans that just needs some luck on his side.
He's a savvy veteran, and he also wears his heart on his sleeve. You know pretty much how Jerry Coons is feeling. I stopped back here about 15 minutes ago, and I said, hey, you're on the front row of your heat. And he's like, yeah, that stinks. It just follows what's been a long line of some rough breaks for him. In a good position last year before breaking an engine. 2 years ago, he was running up toward the top before running into car problems as well. He says, all I can do is go out and hope to win that race, and so that's what he's going to try to do. But he's one of those cagey veterans that it doesn't matter. He can make the alphabet soup runs from the C's to the B's to the A. He's got a lot of laps around here, and Jerry Coons is going to do everything he can to, see where he ends up tonight and make the most points that he can.
I just hope we see some luck on Jerry's side. Like you said, he's had some efforts the last couple of years where he should have been a top 5 car. Heck, maybe one year he should have won the prelim on Monday and has just had some bad luck. So hopefully things go his way tonight. I want to look at the last row of heat race number 5, the last row of heat race number 6, and the last row of heat 7. I know we can't show them all at one time. Those are all drivers we talked to today, drivers we consider favorites for this Monday prelim, and they're all starting at the tail of their heats.
Well, and they can certainly be favorites again to make some ground tonight because they're going to have huge opportunities to make points. Obviously, you're going to see these drivers making some crazy moves a little bit early when the racetrack is perhaps at its raciest, when the cars in front of them are as close to them as they're going to be. So great opportunities for Brent Crews and Trevor Klein are going to start in row 3 in heat race number 5 to make some points. Cannon McIntosh, with the year he had last year, there's no reason that Bixby, Oklahoma driver can't come to the front, gobble up a bunch of those passing points, and really ultimately get himself in a great position for tonight's A main event. And then there's some more drivers are talking about Bill Balog. Well, yeah, he doesn't exactly know quite what to expect out of that Bob East machine, but he's going to go out and give it his all. He said you just can't miss an opportunity like coming to the Chili Bowl, so he's definitely looking forward to his opportunity. And then Tanner Carrick coming from the outside of the 4th row in heat race 6, my eyes will be peeled on him, as well as Shane Golobic, who's starting inside of row 7, or inside of row 4, position number 7 in heat 7. A lot of numbers here, big car counts.
So it's interesting, if you look, the winners of the last 5 Monday night prelims and the second place finisher in the last 2, all starting in the 4th row of a heat race tonight. Look out for some passing points to be made. 8th and final heat, Brian Schwarber, Gary Taylor on the front row, Joby Miller in that one as well. Hayden Wise, a driver we've seen at Millbridge a little bit in a micro. Dave, also on the docket tonight, International Race of Champions. It's really cool just to be invited to that race. We talked about Kyle Larson. I thought it was interesting to hear him say earlier that he prefers to run the Race of Champions the same night of his prelim. A lot of drivers wouldn't even think of doing that.
Absolutely.
What do you think we'll see out of the Race of Champions tonight?
Well, we're going to see some drivers make some moves early if they are able to start up at the front of this race, but you're also got to see guys after that. It'll kind of calm down and settle out a little bit. You know, Logan Seavey says if you're going to be in a race, why not just go out and try to win that thing? But we'll have to see where the lineups for that are set up, but it is always great. As much as it is an opportunity for these guys to get more laps on their cars, it's also an opportunity for them to get more laps behind the wheel and kind of gauge where these competitors that they probably will have to deal with at some point throughout the week, kind of get an idea what they do. Now, they already know what a lot of the tendencies are, but again, a chance to remind yourself, because this place a little bit different, the Tulsa Expo Raceway out there, it's tight, it's small, and things can happen in the blink of an eye, and usually do, hence the flip count.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, the Race of Champions is going to take place after the qualifiers. It is going to be set by a group qualifying session. Dave, let's wrap this up with a final thought from you. I want to ask you something. You're a people person. You like to talk. You talked to a lot of drivers today, just that we interviewed for our Dirt Vision pre-race show. Pick one driver that's running tonight that you just kind of like their mindset, like the vibe that they gave off heading into this.
Well, really, everybody seems to be pretty calm and pretty comfortable. But over the last few years, obviously getting to experience the Dirt Car Nationals in person back in the COVID year of 2020 before all hell broke loose in that thing, and being involved in it every year since, and watching everything that Nick Hoffman has done. And I know it's a homer pick, but I love everything about his personality. I love everything about his attitude, and as much fun as it is to be here. And there's a lot of fun that goes on here. Plenty of happy hour events, if you will, plenty of great eating. As I stand, and he's right behind us here in the Expo Center in this main aisleway, all this guy does is work on that race car. And yeah, it may not be his race car, but he's putting in all of that effort. We saw what that effort got him last year with the World of Outlaws late model series. It damn near got him a championship. Yes, he's got himself a front row spot, but he's got a soft spot in me just because of his work ethic and ability to turn that work and all that talent into success.
He's a hard worker, just like you, Dave. Thanks for all your hard work today, and have fun this week. We'll be talking to you soon. All right, that is going to wrap up our Chili Bowl coverage here on Dirt Vision for night number 1. Remember to tune back in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central. For now, we invite you to flip over to Flow Racing. Flow will have every competitive lap of the Chili Bowl live all week long, so we look forward to going back in our studio and watching as well as all of you. Good night from Dave Rieff and Connor Wade here in Concord, North Carolina. Enjoy night 1 of the Chili Bowl. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of Dirt Vision, a World Racing Group property. For information about upcoming broadcasts, follow us on social media, including Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also watch more than 2,500 classic races and shows anytime at dirtvision.com or the Dirt Vision app.